Today we are going to create a wonderful hippo river habitat in our Wetlands Dome. If you want to find out how we did this and what the story is behind, well, stick with me and let's enjoy this episode together. Alright, so welcome back to the Wetlands Dome episode number 2. I really do hope you enjoyed the first episode. In case you haven't seen that one, check it out on my channel, come back to this video and enjoy it together with me. This whole project is about building a Wetlands Dome within a gigantic glass kind of covered indoor section in which we are going to feature several habitats from obviously the wetlands. And you might be a little bit surprised to why we are doing the hippos today, but there are a couple of reasons to why I did them. So first of all, and I think this is one of the main reasons, many people of you, many comments asked for the hippos, and the more I thought about it, I think the hippo has been a little bit less represented lately. In fact, not at all. But we gotta have to say that this animal it has a very special place in our Planet Zoo history, hasn't it? Because it has been the first animal that really was going below the surface of water in a way that we could do some really cool underwater viewings with it. Nowadays we have so many diving animals in the game that it kind of feels like we forgot about that. But the hippo is still one of the coolest animals in the game simply because of its movement underwater, the way it kind of feels lightweight when it's going to, you know, run across the ground of your water volume. And I really do like it, how it looks and how it feels like. And it is definitely one of the most fitting wetlands animal. In fact, I thought, you know what, let's give it a good amount of space in our dome and also make sure that this has a very good space and place in our entire Wetlands Dome storyline. And so here we are, episode number 2 is going to focus on the hippopotamus. I hope I kind of pronounced that somewhat correctly, even though I don't think so. Whatever. I'm back from holidays, and before we go into the very nitty-gritty details of today's episode, I want to say a huge thank to all of you. In fact, this week has been a lot better than I expected. The Wetlands Animal Pack DLC, I think didn't meet quite the hype that it could have met in a different time frame, I guess. It is a very solid DLC, but it's not the kind of DLC to, you know, wake up people that have been sleeping about Planet Zoo for a while, so nothing really to bring them back in front of the screens. And in fact, this is what I expected anyways. And considering this, the amount of comments and the fact how much you guys interacted with the videos that I pre-produced last week made me really happy. And I gotta say, I enjoyed this week off a lot. We've been to Switzerland, and I don't know how many of you know that, but, you know, just giving you a little insight here. In Switzerland, the roaming is actually still a thing, meaning you still pay a tremendous amount of money for putting on your mobile data on your phone if you want to go into the internet. And I'm speaking of 50 cents per megabyte. That means if you send a photo on WhatsApp, you pay 50 cents for it, basically. So that is just ridiculously expensive, and hence we turn off our phones, and in fact we just left them at home. We've been to my family. Part of my family lives in Switzerland, and we enjoyed the time basically 95% without any connection to the internet, which was very refreshing and very good indeed. And I really enjoyed that time, but it also meant that my creativity went absolutely nuts, and I have so many ideas, I can't tell you. If it wasn't about the fact that I need to work from tomorrow on again, I would take a week off and just build, because I've got so many ideas. So be prepared for the upcoming weeks and months. I have a list of ideas only from that holidays, from looking around and from, I don't know, just enjoying the time with my wife and the baby and the family and just in general, has been absolutely fantastic. So beware, that is going to happen rather soon. I really hope it just kind of works with the time frame given, but whatever. So yeah, I'm back, and I had a lot of ideas, and so I thought, you know what, let's pair that with the first creation for the Wetlands Dome that has been received the most love, I guess, from all of my videos of the Wetlands DLC pack so far. So that means we're going to focus on the Wetlands Dome a little bit more, and also on season number, whatever it is, the Wetlands season for Yosemite. I'm very afraid to start that, to be honest. Like, I really want to, but on the other hand side, it feels very hard to take apart Yosemite again. And also with the overheating issues I have at the computer at the moment, this heavy park is not really the best to do. I'm currently working on a fix. I tried to reach out to MSI, but they didn't actually answer in more than a week, which kind of left me a little bit confused to why they don't. I mean, I just, it's not like that I'm sponsored or anything. I just paid for their products, and the support just didn't answer, which is very weird indeed. And I just need a replacement for my water cooling, and yeah, whatever. If anyone of MSI is listening, hello, can you contact me, please? That would be very nice, because I just need a new water cooling, and it's not even 2 years old, and I guess there's still some warranty. Anyways, that should not be the topic of today's video. Just wanted to make you guys aware of the fact that I still have some overheating issues, and especially now going towards summer, that's not the best thing to have, and I don't just want to buy a new one. I've got a good one, but it just needs a fix, whatever. Yeah, let's talk about this build. Now, the hippopotamus is an animal that just doesn't dive, as many people think it does, and I also, before playing Planet Zoo, had that wrong assumption as well. I thought these animals were diving, but they're not. They're not diving. They are basically just floating on the ground, and they push themselves from stone to stone with their insane amount of power they have in their bodies, and even on land they can be pretty quick and pretty crazy. If they start to walk and run once, you basically can't stop these animals anymore. But underwater, where the weight doesn't play that much of a role anymore, they are insanely quick and insanely powerful, and that is why I thought a very long swooping underground section to view them would be something really cool here. And in terms of welfare, it's not really the best you can do. These animals are not really having a good time in here. In terms of welfare, I gotta fix that with an outdoor section. But the indoor section has some tweaks to it so that they can actually run across the ground. I gotta have to do some other things in order to make this work, but I got a good idea how to do that in the future. But this is nothing we are tackling right now, because the idea about this dome will be we're gonna do the inside first, and then we do the outside. Pretty much like we did this for the aquatic dome, simply because it makes the most sense. When you have done the inside, you have a better idea of how the layout is and stuff like that. I have made myself some thought about that, which I'm going to talk about in the real-time part today. There are a couple of little things, so in case you're listening to this point in the video, here is a good hook and a little cliffhanger for you. There will be two very cool things in the real-time part. For once, I'm going to announce a tiny little things for members, which I hope is going to be really cool. I had this idea also in the holidays, and I thought it's going to be a fun little thing to do. And we're going to talk about this, what you see in front of you, a little custom cobble. This is special. This cobble design is rather special. I'm going to talk about this. You potentially have seen that in the video. I have come up with this during the second episode, the making of the second episode of the small clawed otter realistic habitat. You haven't seen that one, it's not finished yet, but there's a good reason to why it's not finished yet. Yeah, we gotta talk about that. It's a bit more complicated than you think it is, but it looks fantastic. Let's put it that way first, and we're gonna talk about that in the real-time section. And I also wanted to integrate a little shop front here, to give the people a chance to buy something. I know in terms of guest flow, this is absolutely ridiculous to put it here, but honestly though, at this point, I'm somewhat stopping to think about that. I know that these shops are awfully overpowered, and I know that these shops will basically always create insane traffic jams for the guests and stuff, no matter where you put them. And so I'm just putting them where I want to put them. I guess that's the way I'm going to tackle that. It's just like, see, the point is, if you want to make this all work fine, and we are seeing that now in the Lost Aqualand, it is nearly impossible to get a good guest flow. We definitely need some more options such as one-way lanes or one-way roads, that would be really good, like path that you can make one way only. That would be so helpful in order to guide the traffic, or at least like signs or something to make them go only one way. I remember in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 we had this wonderful little barrier that you could place down and where only staff could walk through, or guests in only one direction. That was so useful to control the the guest flow and stuff, and I wish to have something like that in the game as well, because it is so super helpful and it makes a lot of sense in so many cases, not only for theme parks but also for zoos. I mean, in fact, there are a lot of zoos even here in Germany that have a specific design that want you to go a specific direction in order to have like a full journey. So in terms of storytelling, it makes sense. In terms of different things, it just makes a lot of sense. This, by the way, over here, what I'm building right now is the subject of our little members thing, which I'm going to talk about, as I said, in the real-time part in a couple minutes. It's going to be fun, hopefully. So yeah, that's about it. And the whole, the whole habitat, as you can see it over here, is, I would call it 90% done, because we are still lacking a overground viewing for the hippopotamus, which I'm going to talk about in the real-time part, where I'm planning to put that. It's a little bit complicated simply because this dome will make use of the vertical layer as well. Even though we haven't done it yet, we will, and I'm going to explain how. And it's going to be super difficult with the habitat layouts, but I'm trying my best to do so. I wish at some point I could just, go nuts and just don't look at, escaping issues and stuff, because that would help me a lot. But yeah, we are going to work that out. I think it's going to work out pretty well indeed. There shouldn't be too much of an issue with this. So at the end of the day, it's just a little bit of a fiddly work, and then we will have a very nice dome indeed. So yeah, in a couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds, I could even say, I think it's just a minute left of the time lapse, we're going to jump over and I'm going to explain exactly what I meant. But until then, I'm just going to quickly give you a couple more insights to the habitat. So the idea was that we have this long sweeping habitat to the side of the dome just to give it a nice backdrop, and behind that stone wall you've seen me doing during the episode, I imagine there could be like a staff backstage walkway only thing, which I'm going to squeeze there in. I wish to make that like something like with a catwalk kind of design. I think that will be really good. But yeah, so that's it. Let's jump over in the real-time part and have a look in detail. Alright, there we go, guys. Here we are in the real-time part. And as you can see, the look of this area has changed dramatically from last time, because this is where we have the platypus viewing from the other side. Yeah, light-wise, it's maybe not the best view ever, but it's gonna be working out. Before we go closer to this area, let me just show you one thing. I'm just gonna storm around the corner here and go back to the Platypus river walk, or like Platypus area walk. Can we spot some of you guys? There's one. But oops, I wanted to go here, and this is one of the ideas I had as well. So that when you come here, obviously your focus is on the platypus because that's what you want to see from over here. But you already get a glimpse of this Hippo river in the back, and I think this view from over here especially looks pretty cool. You can't really tell too much from this side, but there you go. You can see a hippo coming by, and it's basically eye level from over here. But the more you go, the more you follow the line, you can still get a glimpse here. Very nice indeed. Look at the hippo moving along there, very nice. And then you go all the way back here. This is all not done, by the way, so don't look at that. But the more you go here, you get this wonderful underground or underwater view without actually changing too much in the altitude. At least it doesn't feel like, because you have a very natural way going down, and you've got two options to see underground. So there's a platypus on this side and you've got the hippo on this side, and it's kind of a little area to kind of remain at. And you can see there's like a little glass over here. The mangrove just kind of covers over that one, just grew over that one. And then the more you go here, you have this wonderful underwater view, which I still have to think about how I do this to make it a bit better in terms of viewability. I mean, obviously we can change the color of the water, but at this point I think the background is more important than the color of the water, because the ground color is not really helping a lot in this game for this specific biome we are in. But I'm going to show you in the normal view. Look at that, there's a hippo coming down for us. Oh my god, both of them are coming. Can you please not glitch into each other? Can you just not? Okay, well, just do what you ever think you need to do, but look at that, it's so cool. They just do that for us now. And see, this is what I meant, they're not diving, they're pushing themselves here from the ground and just kind of walking together down here. It's not staged. I really like that they just do that right now for us. Let me just quickly pause the game real quick, because I want to show you this entire thing with them in the water. And now if we go over here, you can see there's a little bit of a backstage access to here, which is not really done yet. And all the way to the back here, this is where another entrance will be placed. There is another viewing of the hippopotamus. Not sure what exactly I'm going to do with this side, to be honest. It's just here for the moment to remain as a little placeholder, but the focus is that area indeed. Now let's go out of this view and go into the overview mode, so you can see it a little bit better to how that works out. So we've got a hippo chilling down here, and we've got the hippos in the water, if I'm not wrong. There you go. What we can do real quick is, if I can finally select the water. Okay, there's just, there you go. Finally, I can check the water. I can increase the transparency, obviously, a little bit like that. We can have some bubbles in here. We don't really need mist though. What we can do is we can just kind of try to make the water a little bit more like so. I don't know, you know, and then the view from the side is a little bit more clear. Of course it is, but the main issue is basically the color in the background. So if this all would be brighter and more in this kind of whitish color as the cobbles are, it would be so much easier to see. The problem is, even the sand, as you can see, is not really this color as it is on the picture. It's really not. It's really more like this color, which is a bit of a pity. I wish it was a bit brighter or gray or whatnot, like gray rock or so. That would be really cool. So I got to figure out how to do that, because if you put all the stones down, they basically don't walk here. The traversable area already is kind of a hot mess, as you can see. Not really sure why that is, but whatever. It works for the moment, and it's all I care about. But yeah, so you can tell this is the area, and I'm quite happy with the area. Now, let's speak about the two things I mentioned. Now, this is our little playground area, which I'm a big fan of, you know, for little kids. You know, there's kind of a little cobble way to follow, and then there's like a little whip, and then we've got this thing over here. You know, I imagine this is something where you can drag these things. I don't know what exactly you do, but yeah. Now, let's talk about these things, and I guess you guys know them. These are kind of from little playbooks from kids or so, where you have a head, a body part, and the legs of a person. But how about making this with animals? And this is what I'm asking my members to do. You can now access, well, actually, you guys are members. I can see that you are members. So for all of my members, I think we have 20 members at this point in time, or 19 or something. You can make some suggestions to which animals you want to have on these boards. We have 2 of them, so we need 8 animals indeed, and I'm gonna make these 8 animals from the animals in game, actually, as these wonderful little play things. I'm gonna put them in here, and then we can actually, and I'm going to make this work by just splitting the groups. At the moment it's just, you know, it's one group. If I click on that, I'm gonna split the groups from each other, and then we can turn them on each axis. I'm just gonna show you. So what I'm going to do is basically going to fill them in, and then we're going to do this. Oops, see, I'm not having all. There you go. Split that from the group, and then we can, oops, just click on that thing, please. There you go, and then we can just rotate them and have some fun with it. I think it's gonna look really cool. Maybe we have to push them a little bit closer to each other, but I think that's gonna look very fun indeed. So that's the basic idea about this. So hopefully you guys have a good time doing that. If you all want to do some suggestions for it, you can also become member for 99 cents and just be happy with that. There's in fact, I keep saying that, but there's really just one single member left for the next emote, and then you guys can also decide what the next emote should be. I kind of start to like the member thing a little bit because I have the control to make it only 99 cents, and I think that's just fair, and you know, that's a cool bit to support the channel if you guys want to. But obviously it's not obligatory or whatever, just if you can and want, fine. If not, totally fine as well. But let's speak about the cobble. Now, I'm really afraid to click it, but I will. So you can see this group contains of 7.7 thousand objects, and I've got a blueprint of that back here. And if I click that one, it has 5.8 thousand, as you can tell, and this is just a 4x4 meter tile. I made this for the ground coverage of the otter habitat because they have quite often these kind of cobble grounds, and these are eggs, you know, the in-game eggs we got with the 1.7 or 8 update, not sure which one it was exactly. It looks fantastic, as you can tell. It looks really, really damn cool. And with playing with the you know, ground a little bit higher and lower, you can get this really cool effect of having them go in and out. And it's just looking absolutely gorgeous. Now, the issue is, it is going to fry your performance when building in the group. I'm not even accessing the group because it's just going to burn my computer down at this point. I have an idea how to make like a low poly version of that, which still looks good, but oh my god, this just tells me how much I need a freaking cobble piece in this game, like something that has way less polys than that, but just like a little cobble piece. Because if we speak about, for example, the 4 rocks, for example, this is the smallest aquatic frog. Just look at the comparison. This is by no means small. This is labeled as small, but it's not. It's just ridiculously big. Like, let's put that like next to a person. That's not even cobble. That's like a freaking boulder that is really big, you know. And in order to have something smaller, we got these ones, but yeah, they are smaller, but in fact they are still relatively big, you know. There's not really much you can do about this. And so I came up with the eggs. I think the eggs work, as far as I can tell, this is the by far best cobble you can do in the game. But it's just like completely destroying your frame rate and everything, which is a sad thing. But for smaller areas like that, it just kind of works. You can see performance is all fine, even on play. There is not really an issue whatsoever. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, not sure how exactly I'm going to fix that. I have some ideas. I'm gonna see how that works out. But yeah, that's about it for the moment, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the little comeback of the Wetlands Dome, even though it hasn't been really gone for you. For me, it has, because it's been nearly 2 weeks that I've done episode number 1. So for me, it feels like a little comeback. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I really enjoyed building that one. Just to give you a little outlook to the next coming days. Obviously, the week will be focused a little bit more on Prehistoric Kingdom because reasons. And also, next week is going to focus on Aqualand and maybe Yosemite. So that's just a little look ahead, but I hope you guys had a good time. As always, if you like the content and you want to support the channel for free, you can subscribe to the channel. Easiest way to support me and tell YouTube you like it. Or if you want to do more, as I said, you can become a member for 99 cents and then also take part in some little things like the image kind of a suggestion round, or get some sneak peeks of early projects. That's all, other than that, well, have a good time, stay safe everyone, and goodbye.